Clerk will report the amendment.
Amendment offered by Mr. Bilbray of California. At the end of the bill, before the short title, add the following new section. None of the funds made available by this act may be used to remove any portion of the Mount Soledad Veterans Memorial in San Diego, California.
The gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a very simple amendment. It just says you will not use federal funds to tear down the war memorial on Mount Soledad. It is very simple. It's basically a war memorial that was originally built in honor of the veterans of Korea. Mr. Chairman, when I was a young teenager, young child, I still remember my father, as we drove up the coast from San Diego, he'd point up at this memorial and say, "That is the only war memorial to Korea." At the time, I believed him, and as far as I know, at that time it was. Since then, the war memorial has been surrounded by over 3,000 plaques. Many show Star Davids, many show crescents, and many show crosses. But there are those that have taken offense to the fact that this war memorial happened to be across the universal sign of memorial. And all I have to say is, if we don't support this amendment not to tear down this one memorial, then I ask this body to be serious about the fact that in the United States, we have over 4 million crosses as memorials in this country. We have over 455,000 emblems that may be interpreted any way you want. We have over 40,000 Star Davids as memorials on veteran property. In fact, in Normandy, England, Mexico City, and Panama, we have 130,000 crosses or other symbols that might be projected as being religious. Sadly, what we've got going on in San Diego is those who claim in the name of religious tolerance want to destroy our war memorials. If anyone takes offense to this, all this says is, if we're not going to tear down the 4 million crosses on our veterans' memorials across this country, and we're not going to tear down or use any funds from this budget to tear down the war memorial that stands on the top of Mount Soledad at La Jolla, San Diego, California. Very simple, very clear. And I hope that my colleagues can say, in the spirit of tolerance, no one means to go out and be so intolerant as to tear down war memorials just because somebody may claim that it may have a religious connotation. God knows we don't want to start tearing down those 4 million crosses that exist today, or those thousands of Star Davids that proudly sit today on veterans and federal property.
Gentleman, yield?
Yes.
We're happy to support your amendment.
I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman, with that, and I appreciate the minority's consideration, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from California. All those in favor will say aye. All those opposed will say no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. For what purposes?